First of all, welcome to the conference, ma'am. How is your experience? Would you like to share something about the conference?
Yeah, I think it's a very informative and a very incisive congregation of people who are in the business of cybersecurity. So, in as much as that, it's been a very meaningful day, and we still have a couple of panels left. So let's see how this pans out. But yeah, overall, I think it is a very good experience.
Thank you. So, ma'am, in your extensive career spanning from law enforcement and security government, what are the key challenges that government agency when balancing traditional approaches of security and blending it with the importance of cybersecurity faces? And how do you balance that?
So, it is a very critical question that you've asked that governments and governance, which have been very conventional in terms of addressing matters of security, have to now really reinvent themselves to handle cybersecurity, because now the challenges have really shifted from conventional threats and security challenges to digital threats and cybersecurity challenges. But I think the law enforcement agencies are doing fairly well for themselves, because they have no choice but to make that very quick shift, because that's their bread and butter. So, overall, pan India, I think the law enforcement agencies have very quickly adapted themselves to responding to the cybersecurity challenge. Having said that, I think we really need to up the game, and we really need to, get ourselves completely updated with the kind of dynamic changes which are happening in terms of the cyber crimes which are inflicting citizens and inflicting infrastructure and institutions. So, yes, there's a constant challenge which law enforcement agencies have to deal with, which is updating themselves on a regular basis. And I think we are doing that, but we could do better.
So, ma'am, like capacity building and training have been central to the work. Like both in India and internationally. So, how do you see the role of government administration evolving in the terms of preparing security forces for the this challenge in the digital age? Is there particular strategy or best practices they follow?
No, yes, all training institutions across board, and especially those in uniform, we have completely apprised and abreast of the need for training people in cybersecurity, and to train them on what are the challenges in the digital and the ether world. And yes, at all training levels, right from the constabulary to the officer level, we are providing ample security training and on cyber security to our people who are joining the force. Yes.
So, ma'am, like recently there was a news that we also covered that Supreme Court channel, YouTube channel was hacked. So, like these channels of the government agencies, government firms also are like getting hacked. And then another day there was a news that some crypto scam happened over the Twitter account also of OpenAI newsroom. And then another day, then again come a news of hacking a very famous YouTuber channel, both channels. So these hacking has been like very spontaneous and very quick, like one after the other, one after the other. It's happening. So it's like are there some loopholes that is leveraging cyber criminals to enter so quickly, or any best practices we are leaving behind that we should do it, so that we keep on updating our system? So why it's happening so?
I think you're a little confused in your question, but I won't talk about that. See, yes, the incidence of crime is happening, and the criminals or the potential hackers are definitely targeting uh, those institutions or those outfits where they get visibility. That's why they have targeted Supreme Court. That's why they have targeted Twitter. So it's not about doing it to X, Y, or Z, but they are definitely targeting those outfits and organizations where their activity also brings them a larger visibility. As far as the protocols are concerned, yes, wherever hacking has happened, there hasn't been commensurate protocols to prevent that. So that needs to be updated constantly, and that is why critical infrastructure and important institutions of our country and national assets of our country, we have to be doubly sure and we have to be doubly augment our cyber security protocols.
My last question, ma'am, as Cybersecurity Awareness Month is coming. It's October. So, what advice or what best practices you would like to share with our listeners that they need to follow in their daily life also, so that they keep their digital space secure?
So that's a very good and a very pertinent question. I think for everybody who's listening to this interview, my advice is that use your digital space minimally and optimally. Just don't be available on the digital space on a constant basis, and don't be reactive. Don't, just because you have got something, you don't have to necessarily respond to that, whether it's a query, whether it's a request, whether it's an SMS asking you for some information. Be very diligent and be very, very suspicious, because today, getting into your digital space, either by way of just uh, intruding into your personal privacy or also committing a crime, is the easiest thing and is the most often done thing by criminals. So to everybody, old and young, men and women, girls and boys, professionals and non professionals, please use digital space to the minimal extent possible. And especially when you are doing financial transactions or when you are sharing of your pictures and your personal information, be very, very circumspect about on what platform you are sharing it and how you are sharing it, and do not respond immediately to any queries coming on those scores, personal information, pictures, and about your banking transactions. So that's the first ABC of the kind of best practices one can adopt, is what I can think of.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much.